What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got for you 3 crazy revenge stories. In the first one, a guy gets his car towed for parking over his neighbor's drive, ruining his Tinder date. In the second, an abuser gets their just desserts. And the third is probably the most satisfying revenge of all. When this woman is wrongfully removed from her job, her boss is the one who actually ends up getting destroyed. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get into the first story. My neighbor blocked my driveway one too many times, so I had his car towed during his Tinder dates. For context, my neighbor is the type of guy who thinks rules are for other people. An arrogant 6-foot-something hunk in his mid-20s. Wow, is he talking about me? He constantly parks in front of my driveway, fully blocking it, despite multiple warnings, notes, and in person, hey man, seriously, stop conversations. His excuse? I'm just here for a bit. A bit apparently means an eternity, 3 to 5 hours every dang time. Last week, I come home and surprise, he's there again, blocking my driveway with his crusty silver sedan. I see him through his window getting ready, cologne and everything. He's going out. I decide tonight's the night. So I do what I should have done weeks ago. I call a tow truck. No warnings, no notes, get it towed straight up. About 45 minutes later, I'm sitting on my porch drinking a beer when a random girl walks up the sidewalk, clearly dressed for a date. She knocks on his door, he comes out smiling, then sees his car is gone. She's confused. He's flipping out. He starts looking around like someone robbed him. I casually say, if you're looking for your car, it got towed. You were blocking my driveway again. He tries to argue, but the girl just says, wait, you parked in front of his driveway? He tries to explain, but she just says, wow, that's trashy, and walks off. I haven't seen him block my driveway since, and he never called another girl home after that. His confidence took a major hit. So ultimately, he blocked you and then you blocked him. That's fair enough. And can I just say as well, shout out to this woman for knowing that despite the fact that she's going on a date with this guy and maybe if they've met before, likes him, who knows if it's a first date or not, probably is given that she's gone to his house. Knowing that he was in the wrong and that you were in the right and she clearly has the moral compass to say, you know what, I don't want to date this guy right now. I'm leaving. Honestly, you saved her so much time realizing that he's just a piece of trash. Talk about blocking. How about car blocking? Hurt my friend? Good luck with your education. Back in the before times, when the internet was still a new thing with lots of potential, I was enrolled at my local junior college. A little into the semester, I moved in with my girlfriend so we could both save on rent. I'll call my girlfriend Lucy for the purpose of this post. One night, Lucy says she invited a friend from one of her classes for a game night. Sounded good to me. We invited a couple of other friends and it was a really fun night. Surprisingly, it turned out her friend, Sarah, was someone I knew from high school. We weren't close friends, but we knew each other and got along fine. After that night, Sarah was invited over pretty frequently for dinner, game nights, or to watch a movie. She even brought her boyfriend over a couple of times, Jay, but he never quite fit in. He'd be quiet or standoffish, wouldn't engage much, and just seemed like he never wanted to be there. It was clear that no one really felt comfortable having him there, but we invited him to be polite to Sarah. Fortunately, he only came over 2 or 3 times and found an excuse to refuse every other time. A month or 2 after this all started, Sarah called my girlfriend, crying, and asked if she could come over. Of course, we said yes. The story that was relayed was Jay was getting very upset with Sarah for coming over to our place so frequently and accused her of cheating on him. She never clarified if he thought she was cheating with me, Lucy, or both of us, but any option was ridiculous and never happened. But he confronted her and started verbally assaulting her, calling her all kinds of nasty names. At one point, she tried to walk past him to leave and he shoved her back. This caused her to trip over a coffee table, fall, and get a huge bruise on her butt and lower back. Lucy told me about the bruise as Sarah had shown her. I didn't see it for myself. Sarah swore up and down that he had never physically assaulted her before, and she believed it was just an accident. But I was annoyed. I wanted revenge. You don't mess with my friends, and you don't assault women. I wanted to beat the F out of him, but while I'm a very big guy, I've never been in a fight, and I'm not a violent person. But a revenge plan formed in my mind. At the time, I was working in the administration building of the school as a student employee. As part of my job, I could access anyone's student records, their fees, and their class schedule. The date was fast approaching that was the last possible day to drop or add classes without penalty or specific permission. So I looked Jay up in the system, got his student ID number and the other information that I needed, and I put my plan into motion. On the last day to change schedules, I used the dedicated enrollment phones in the administration building. Internet class scheduling wasn't a thing that was set up yet. And I cancelled all of his classes. Not only that, but I went through and added every class I could find that had a course fee. If you owed a debt at the school, you couldn't get copies or your transcripts or anything else. Something that I didn't mention was that Jay was also a foreign student and couldn't stay in the country if he wasn't enrolled with a certain number of units. I wish I could give more info about the fallout, but as I didn't want this to get tracked back to me, I didn't tell anyone, nor did I pull up his records again for quite a while. I did get a little payoff though. Sarah was really worried about seeing him again. She'd broken up with him the night after he pushed her, as they had an English class together on Tuesdays. She said that on Tuesday he was there, but there was also someone new standing in the class. He was standing because there weren't enough seats. The teacher, seeing that there were more people than should be, held roll. And guess who wasn't on it? You're right, it was Jay. Apparently, after I dropped all his classes, someone on the waitlist got in. Jay tried to argue with the teacher, but as Teach had the official class roster and Jay wasn't on it, there was nothing he could do. Sarah said she never saw Jay in that class again. I don't know much more about what happened. Lucy and I eventually broke up, so I didn't see Sarah very often after that. After a while, I did look up Jay's class schedule, and all of the classes with course fees were gone, but he didn't have any other classes on the books either. I wanted to assume he was kicked out of school, but I didn't try to confirm it. Either way, Sarah didn't have to have a class with him, and while he probably deserved more, he was definitely inconvenienced and possibly kicked out of school. Sometimes I worry I was too harsh, but then I remember that he deserved it. Mess with me, but not my friends. Okay, great revenge, OP, and in my opinion, you weren't too harsh at all, and yeah, arguably he did deserve more. I suppose the question is, and we don't know because, as you said, you wanted to keep a low profile so you weren't caught up in this and people didn't understand or realize that you were involved. But if Jay was kicked out of the country, and we don't know if he was or wasn't, which is annoying, then this is top tier revenge. If he wasn't and he just got kicked out of the school, hopefully had to pay those course fees as well, it's still good revenge. You've still ruined his college experience and that set him back a number of years in life, I'm sure. But if he was kicked out of the country, then that is next level revenge. It's also important to remember, guys, that this happened a long time ago, decades ago, because I was thinking there, and you might be thinking the same thing. Did Jay not raise this as a problem and say, look, clearly something's happened here. Can we not sort something out? And you also might be thinking, how can a school employee have this much administrative power? But I don't know. Back in the day when the internet wasn't so much of a thing, I feel like this could definitely have happened, to be honest with you. Pick me to be eliminated? Two can play. Back in 2015, I, a 37-year-old woman, was working as a manufacturing engineer for a fishing company. I'd been there for almost 5 years and worked with new packaging line implementation mainly. But the process engineer had quit, so I picked up that job as well. I was working 16-hour days most of the time and on call 24/7, but I felt that I'd be able to rise in the ranks if I showed my dedication to the company. Cue douche head manager. For some reason, he didn't like me, and he would try to make me look incompetent and weak in front of other departments. He criticized my ideas, but then gave the ideas to others to do. Everyone else worried about me and the hours I was putting in and drinking 2 to 3 monsters a day, but my manager just wanted more. Then came the first of the month. I came into work and started back on a line teardown that needed to be done. I was wrenching away when I started hearing people being called into HR. I was confused. What was going on? I went to talk to my work besties and they were just as confused. As I walked back to my cubicle, I saw one of the women from accounting crying as she carried out a box of her stuff while being escorted. I remember hearing her name being called. My heart fell to my stomach. Then, at around 8:30 a.m, I heard it. My name being called. I thought, well, so much for dedication. I walked into HR, got the position elimination lecture, and was informed I had no job, no insurance, and 4 months of pay for just 1 month shy of 5 years. I was destroyed. I had never received a bad review or even a PIP, but my manager had to pick one person from his department, and lo and behold, he chose me. I had to be escorted back to my desk to pack up. tears streaming down my face, and my packaging ME shouting, "This is BS," as he had to walk me out. The manager wouldn't even give me the chance to say anything to him, just made his second in command walk me out. And the kicker, my birthday was the next day. As the day progressed, I heard about more people being let go, at least one person from each department and a couple of managers. They were close to retirement. Out of them all, 90% were women, including a couple of work besties. We found that the conglomerate that owned the company was selling it, and we were the fallout for making the books look good. I still didn't understand why I was chosen from the engineering department. There was one person who was 1 year from retirement who would have gladly left, his words to me, and another on a PIP. He told me so I could help him. I was shattered and lost. So I took 1 day to grieve and get drunk with my besties on my birthday. Then I hit the job sites. 1 month later, I started a new job that I absolutely loved. But here is where it gets good. One morning, about 6 months after I started my new job, the plant director called me into his office. His office was only about 15 feet from my cubicle, so we got to know each other, and he was a pretty cool guy, so I walked in with a "What's up?" and a smile. He looks up and says, "I have a resume for the plant manager position. You used to work at that fishing place, didn't you?" I said, "I did." "Well, did you know or work with douchehead manager?" I said, "Yeah, he was my manager." "Well, how was he to work for and with?" I smiled and said, "He was an okay person, but he was a really great bus driver, if you get what I mean." He smiled, picked up the paper and showed it to me. It was douchehead's resume, and he'd been let go the same day I was. I was in shock. And then the best thing happened. The director took the paper, ripped it up and threw it away. He said that was all he needed to know, and I walked out with my jaw on the floor. Douchehead had been unemployed since that day, and unknowingly, I got my petty revenge. Okay, so just reading through the comments, somebody said, "What do you mean by bus driver?" Because I'm going to be honest, I had no idea as well. Throws people under the bus. Okay, I get it. A bus driver is someone who throws others under the bus so often, he's become proficient and efficient at it, and now just lines up his co-workers and drives the bus over them. He has become the bus driver. That is how often he's been throwing people under the bus. Wow. Quite a cool little metaphor there. Might use it. The one thing I would say about this story, and I think we've seen this before, is I wish you had interviewed him, or you had said to your manager there, who, by the way, I've got to say, your manager's a great guy. Like, if you've got a manager who will trust your opinion that easily and you know, cares that much about you and what your values are and your thoughts on other people, to say, okay, if this one person has had bad experiences before, then even if they're really qualified, seem good on paper, whatever, no, we're not going to touch this person, then, you know, you've got a good relationship with your manager, that is for sure. But I do kind of feel like maybe it would have been unreal if you got him in and then you were sitting in on the interview, your manager, you, and your old manager, and then as your old manager walks in, he sees you. Like, that just would have been so good, but probably unrealistic, to be honest, and would have wasted a lot of people's time, including obviously the company that you're currently working for now. Don't care about the douchehead, obviously, but probably that was not realistic, but would have been amazing nonetheless. Phenomenal revenge. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want more revenge content right away, check out this episode on screen. A few hours of revenge stories in there. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so you don't miss out on my daily Reddit stories. By the way, we're posting these at 8 p.m. GMT every day, trying to be consistent with the upload time. I'll put on screen right now, down my face, what that means for other territories. But yeah, 8 p.m. GMT every single day. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.